here we are. Good morning, PTI Nice Daily Show. Happy Thursday morning. Here we are live on Instagram, live up here on Facebook. Hope your Thursday morning is off to a great start. My name is Alan. I'll be your host today. Faculty member for our fitness athlete division and currently serving as the COO of the Institute of Clinical Excellence here on Leadership Thursday. Normally, Leadership Thursday is also Gut Check Thursday, but we are putting a pause on Gut Check Thursday because of the CrossFit Open. So hopefully you found yourself doing wall walks and jump rope last week like the rest of us. That was unexpected. We have 21.2 being released tonight. I'm personally hoping for overhead squats, toes to bar, or pull-ups, but we'll see what Dave Castro has planned for us. I'm looking forward to doing that workout tonight at 8 as soon as it gets announced. Hopefully seeing you all on the Ice Physio leaderboard as well. If you want to join the Ice Physio leaderboard, it's super easy. Go to your CrossFit Games profile, put the hashtag IcePhysio, all one word in there, and then create a custom leaderboard that filters by that hashtag, and you'll see all the folks from the ICE community participating. So that's how to get it on your CrossFit Games dashboard. Some courses coming up really quick. If you'll be in Olney, Maryland this weekend with Zach Morgan for Cervical Spine Management, I will be there as well. I'm going to come watch Zach and give him some feedback. So looking forward to meeting you if you'll be in Maryland this weekend. And then you can still catch Jeff down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana for lumbar spine management this weekend as well, down at Delta Physical Therapy. So there's still a chance to jump into that class as well. Your next chance to catch cervical spine management is going to be in Knightdale, North Carolina with Jordan Berry the weekend of April 10th. You can catch extremity management with Lindsay Huey here in Fenton, Michigan at Health HQ and CrossFit Fenton that same weekend, April 10th and 11th, if you'll be in the Midwest area. And then next weekend we have the Ice Sampler, of course, still time to join us. We're going to be down in Nashville, Tennessee. Lots of awesome presentations. I just put the course website together last night, looking at stuff on coaching and cueing, working through the hip from both an older adult and a fitness athlete perspective. Also tendinopathy loading for our extremity management. Some stuff on two-point discrimination, of course, thrust manipulation of the spine. If you know us at all, you know we're going to be doing some of that. So great action-packed weekend. We're going to have a great barbecue Saturday night after we work out. So it's going to be a fantastic weekend. So I hope to see you all in Nashville. And then some online courses firing up. You can join Morgan Denny for primary care physical therapy beginning April 5th. And you can join Justin Dunaway for persistent pain management beginning April 12th. So that's what's coming up your way, ICE course-wise. Yes, I see you there, Alex, on Instagram. I did have a beard like 3 days ago. I was trimming my beard because it was, and men with facial hair can relate to this. My mustache was starting to come down over my mouth and like getting stuck in my teeth as I was eating. And so I was trimming my beard and I missed with the comb and I just took out a huge patch here. And so now I had to be clean shaven, not by choice, but by stupidity. So yes, I did have a giant beard 3 days ago and now I'm clean shaven. The magic of messing up beard trimming. Today's topic, we had a question come in. It said, how do you keep things so organized? Like, what is your secret to run multiple organizations and keep them all organized and flowing? And the secret is, there is no secret. The secret is leveraging technology as much as possible to do the heavy lifting for you. When I interact with you all, whether you are reaching out for advice, for questions, whether you are dealing with purchasing a course, whatever my interaction reason for you all is, a common denominator comes across that many folks are still in 2021 very, very uncomfortable and clumsy with the very basics of technology, like the rudimentary basics stuff that is taught in elementary school type basics now. Stuff to the point where some of you, I've recommended that you go to the library and take an introduction to computer course or maybe at the community college, because there's a lot of meat left on the bones in the very basics. It's stuff we glance over every single day. I know how to do email. I know how to run a calendar, but experts do the basics well, right? As Jeff tells us. And it's really important that we get the very, very basics dialed in to have something to bounce off of. And the better you get at these very basic things, the easier it's going to be for communication, organization, and workflow in the clinic, with patients, with a side hustle you may be running, with maybe an organization you volunteer with your own personal life and events and finances and that sort of stuff. So I want to touch on 5 ways to really up your game and master the basics of technology, because small things are big things. If you are somebody that goes weeks without answering an email because you cannot keep up with your email, that stuff shows through Whether it's interacting with a current patient, trying to attract a new patient, a friend or family member, it doesn't matter. We can all get a little bit better at the basics. So let's start from the top. Point number 1, email. You have got to get a Gmail. If you are still using Yahoo or Hotmail or AOL.com, join us here in the 21st century. Advance forward 30 to 35 years technology-wise and grab a Gmail account. What I see very often interacting with folks with Yahoo, Hotmail, AOL is that they are so overwhelmed with spam that almost every email they get is spam. And not only that, if they do get it in their inbox, an important email, it's often caught in the spam filter because their email is just overwhelmed with spam. So 99.9999% of the time, when somebody sends me an email and says, hey, I never heard from you, the answer is simple. Look in your spam folder, because I know that you're using an archaic email system. So join us here in 2021 and grab a Gmail. Grab a nice professional-looking Gmail. Keep it short, something that will fit on a business card, something that patients will be able to type in, right? I would never use Dr. Alan Fredendahl, the physical therapist, 2021, Fenton, Michigan, @gmail.com, right? That's too long. Keep it sweet, keep it simple, but grab a Gmail. For some of you, you get so much email. You got those old Navy coupons. You got those Kohl's Cash emails. They're flooding your email inbox. It's probably just better, even if you already have a Gmail, to abandon ship on that one. And if you're thinking about using Gmail for patients for more professional interactions, just grabbing a whole new Gmail. It's super easy to switch between accounts, and then you have one that's not full of spam. So grab a Gmail. That's the first thing. The second thing is directly related to having a Gmail is just using Gmail better. If you are that person that is completely overwhelmed with spam or coupons or whatever in your current Gmail, there are a couple ways to get a lot better at it. The first thing is that you can put a plus sign after your email address and then any sort of name, and that will read as your email address, the same as your current one. So for example, my Gmail is alan.fredendahl@gmail.com. So I can do alan.fredendahl +bank@gmail.com. Gmail will still recognize that as my email address and give me email from that address. How does that help me? I can use that email address when I sign up for maybe a new bank account, when I sign up for a new investment account. If I use +bank, +IRA, that email will still come to my Gmail same as normal, but now on Gmail, right in the search bar is a drop down. I can set up a filter. I can say I want all email coming into me, alan.fredendahl +IRA@gmail.com, to be filtered into this folder called IRA automatically. And so anything related to my retirement account comes into my inbox and then goes into that folder. So I don't even see it. I can go to that folder and see all those emails. They're going to drop in there and stay there forever, but they don't clog up my inbox. And now we can start to do this filter system. I can do alan.fredendahl +healthhq@gmail.com. And so any emails related to the clinic come to me and go in a Health HQ folder, and on and on and on and on. And I can really start to pare down my inbox to just stuff that needs my attention. Other stuff that comes in throughout the day is put into folders, makes it a lot more organized, easier to chunk through, and to keep stuff archived as well forever, because you can keep stuff in Gmail forever. So getting a Gmail and really learning how to use Gmail is probably the most important thing you can do if you're that person that finds yourself days, weeks, months behind on email. It's 2021. The expectation now is that you respond to every message you receive instantaneously, and if you don't, people start to scream at you. But recognizing that's unrealistic expectation, it's still important to be able to get to emails within a day, within a couple days. If you find yourself going 7, 14, 28 days answering emails, you're behind the curve. You're probably missing out on patient evals and other opportunities. So use that system of filtering with the Gmail to really dial in your email. The second part is related to Gmail, is getting an extension on Gmail called Boomerang. Boomerang is what I use to keep track of a lot of different projects and thought threads that come in through ICE a lot. So Boomerang has a couple different features. Probably the most important is it lets you pause your Gmail inbox. So if you feel like I will never stop reading my email as long as it keeps coming in, I'm definitely a person like that, then you can hit pause. And until you hit resume, Gmail will not show you any more new emails. Now, obviously, it's important to remember to hit resume or you'll never see a new email again. But if you have trouble turning your brain off and getting out of your email inbox, pause is a great feature for you. You can also schedule emails. So if you know, I want to send some follow-up emails to patients in a couple days, that patient leaves, hey, I want to follow up with that patient in 48 or 72 hours. You can clackety-clack, type that email up, send it out, and then schedule it to go out in 72 hours. Because you don't want to follow up with them right now, right? They're going to be like, well, I just left. I still feel great. You want to follow up in 48 to 72 hours. Type up that email. Hey, how are you doing? How are the exercises going? What was your soreness? What was your pain? And then schedule it for 48 or 72 hours from the time that you saw that patient. They're going to get it in their inbox as if you sent it a couple days later, and then be able to respond and tell you how they followed up with. So I use a lot of scheduling of emails. The third feature that Boomerang has that's very nice is to boomerang emails. And what that means is you can look at an email and say, okay, I read this. I know I have to get back to it, but I don't have time right now. I have time later this afternoon. So boomerang me this back in 4 hours. It's going to disappear from your inbox and come back 4 hours later as a brand new email and pop up as a new email. You can go out to infinity. You can say, bring this back to me in a week, a month, a year, at a specific time and date. Maybe you know I have time set aside for emails 3 to 5 p.m. on Friday. Send all these back to me at 3 p.m. on Friday, and I'll get through them there. So that's a very, 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 very helpful feature. It's great for things you need to get to, but also if you have a conversation where you're waiting on somebody else and they don't seem to be too responsive, maybe because they have a Hotmail or a Yahoo and they're not even getting your email, and you think, I'm waiting on this person to move forward, but they're not answering me, I'm going to boomerang this back to myself in a day, 2 days, and send them a message and say, hey, just following up on this, right? I literally annoyed the heck out of a case manager at a workers' compensation company with Boomerang. I emailed him every single day for 31 days to get more visits for a patient, and I used Boomerang to help make that an easy project to do. So make sure you're getting Boomerang. Now, let's talk calendars. Google Calendar is a must. Google Calendar is a superior calendar, just like Google Chrome is a superior browser and Gmail is a superior email service. Why is Google Calendar so nice? Because unlike iCalendar, and I am an iPhone and a MacBook user, so I recognize how good Mac is in general, but iCalendar is just not as robust as Google Calendar. Google Calendar does a lot of crosstalk with different platforms. So for example, it talks to Square scheduling. So if you have the Schedule Now button with Square on your website to see patients, you need a Google Calendar to communicate with that. On top of that, it lets you do a lot of layered calendars, which can be nice to manage a lot of people's calendars and events, but also to take those away and see what's actually going on in your day. I'll show you an example here. So this is what my calendar looks like on a daily basis. So it looks very busy, right? If you're on Facebook or Instagram here, you're like, holy smokes. So this is a lot of stuff. But if I take away Mitch's calendar, I don't want to see Mitch's calendar. I don't want to see Jeff Moore's calendar. And I don't want to see anything about ICE events. Okay, here's my personal calendar, right, for events and patients. A lot less cluttered, a lot less anxiety inducing. But I still need to see a lot of that stuff day to day so I can bring some of that stuff back on. I need to see what's going on with ICE on day to day, and I need to see Mitch's clinic calendar and coaching calendar as well, right? So using Google Calendars, you can easily turn on and turn off a lot of different layered calendars, and you'll stop missing events. You'll stop double booking yourself, maybe double booking yourself when you've already committed to an event with your spouse, or double booking a patient when another therapist is already seeing them or something like that. So you can get really, really dialed in by switching to Google Calendar. Speaking of Google email and Google Calendar, the fourth thing I want to talk about is Google Chrome. Chrome is, again, a superior browser. It's faster, it's safer, it's got a lot more security, and it does a lot of cool stuff that other browsers don't do. So I want to show you just a couple things on Chrome that you can't do with a lot of other browsers. The first is being able to put all of your bookmarks into nice and easy folders. So kind of hard to see, but I have multiple links that would normally just fill up your favorites bar. You can organize them into folders. So all the spreadsheets and trackers I use for ICE are all in one folder called ICE spreadsheets. All the stuff I do to manage the clinic, the scheduling, the billing, the insurance, the banking, the accounting is all in a folder called Health HQ, which is very useful. So you can really start to organize everything into nice and easy folders. All the stuff for clinic, all the links I do on a daily basis, my EMR, maybe you are managing the banking, maybe you are doing the billing, you're doing your authorizations, all those quick links that maybe you have written down on a sticky note, taped to your desk or something, you can get into a folder on Chrome and very, very easily access. So that's a great way to keep a lot of information at your fingertips organized very easily. And the last thing I want to talk about with Google Chrome is just the ability to do extensions. So Boomerang is an extension for Google Chrome and Gmail. And probably another one that would benefit a lot of you is an extension called LastPass. It's a password keychain where you only need to remember one password. LastPass will remember the rest of your passwords, whether you have it generate one or make your own. And then it auto-fills stuff in when you go to a website. So not something for a public computer that you share, but for your own personal laptop or desktop or mobile device, very, very useful. And so this is what it looks like. If I go to my credit card account, you can see those little graphics, boom, it just auto-filled in my username and password. So I don't have to remember all my passwords. Again, if you're somebody that has sticky notes everywhere with passwords, the LastPass extension for Google Chrome is probably going to be very, very, very beneficial to you. The last piece of technology I want to talk about, we hear this very often, how are you following up with patients? How are you texting them? We're not allowed to text. Text is not secure. Well, yes, it is if you do it right. So we use Google Voice. Google Voice is an app on your phone. You get a phone number given to you by Google, and then you can forward it to different phone numbers. So you can get a clinic phone number through Google Voice. People can call and text it. It will forward it to your cell phone. It will keep your personal number private from those folks. You can call and text back from it, and it's a HIPAA-compliant, secure way to text paper. If you're still having folks call or physically come into the clinic to do stuff like pay a bill, follow up, ask when their appointment is, that sort of stuff, then definitely patients easily. We are texting patients all day long, homework, follow-up appointments. That's how a lot of folks reach out to.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to the PT on Ice Daily Show. If you enjoyed this content, head on over to iTunes and leave us a review. And be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at the Institute of Clinical Excellence. If you're interested in getting plugged into more ICE content on a weekly basis while earning CEUs from home, check out our virtual ICE online mentorship program at ptonice.com. While you're there, sign up for our Hump Day Hustling newsletter for a free email every Wednesday morning with our top 5 research articles and social media posts that we think are worth reading. Head over to ptonice.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to sign up.